was the first step for me forgiving my father and for everything that he put me through and put my mother through and my brothers, is to accept the fact that he was unconscious. You know, that he did the best that he could with the wounds and trauma that he had, and how life showed up for him, like how life was thrown at him. And so forgiveness is a huge step to start to heal. Then you have to encounter these relationships, right? With someone that is going to resemble. How do you feel about talking about your experience? Do you want to talk about like your dynamic with your mom, and then
the experience that I've been having with a person, lady person?
Yeah. Does she resemble your mom?
Physically, no, no, but emotionally,
they are parts of her.
Yes.
The touches and some wounds.
Yes. I
don't think that this person you dated in the past, because I think it's a past person, right? So that she did it intentionally. She probably just acting on her unconscious self, but because we're wounded, or you're wounded, you think that she's doing it to hurt you.
To hurt me.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the thing is, you have wounds from your mom.
Yeah, we saw a video where a psychiatrist was telling this person that if somebody does this to you and then you go like this, it's triggering you a pain, but it's not me trying to hurt you. There's a wound right there, and I just touched it.
Yeah,
but it was there already.
Exactly. So like this is how to explain it better. So we go through our childhood. Our parents hurt us and traumatize us, because they do, and then I have all these. I'm fractured. You know, there are parts of myself that that's the best way to say it, I'm fractured. So the doctor, I saw the video that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So if I have a fractured arm, but you can't see it because you don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
But I don't want to go to the doctor. I don't want to have treatment, because that probably treatment and everything they're gonna do is gonna hurt. I'm refusing to go to the doctor and heal, because it's gonna hurt.
Yep.
And so you come and say, "Hey," and I'm like, "Ouch!"
Ouch.
And then I react like a wounded animal.
Yeah.
Bent over in pain that strikes for no reason. I'll be like, "Don't touch me," right?
That's a reaction.
Exactly. So that's the way to explain the human condition at this juncture, because we
have wounds that we don't even know
that we have them.
That we even have them.
And so we meet this person who triggers the wounds, who we call these toxic relationships.
Yeah.
Right. And because as soon as we enter them, we feel this magnetic attraction and this magnetism that you feel.
Why do we feel that magnetic attraction?
We think that it's love, and we many times confuse that love, and it's just a trauma bond. So meaning wounds are very magnetic. Wounds are very magnetic. And so you attract this person to enter a dance to heal, because not only you are healing, but the other person is also doing some inner work. They don't know it if they're unconscious. You know, many of us are waking up to the fact that we need healing. In order to have healed relationship, in order to have a better life, you gotta heal. Because if you're stuffing your trauma and you're refusing to heal and you don't want to enter relationships and you go on life, I mean, nothing really is going to work out the way you want to, because
you put yourself in a box, you close that box, and then like you think that nothing's gonna
because
get in the box.
For the most part, when you are refusing to heal and when you don't want to enter relationships because you don't want to get hurt and you are keeping your pain inside, that pain stagnates. And that pain, and then what the ego does is going to be doing things unconsciously to cover up that pain. Okay. And that shows up as alcoholism, shopping addiction,
anxiety,
depression, addictions, smoking cigarettes, having a glass of wine every day, going shopping, distracting yourself, taking trips. Who will think that taking trips is such a bad thing? I mean, it should be a wonderful thing. The thing is, you're escaping your pain.
The reality.
And at some point, you come back and you're like, why do I feel like this? Why am I overeating? Why am I doing
this? It's just temporary relief. Just a pill.
It's
a pill. Yeah, it's avoidance.
It's avoiding people. Some men you see men escaping their pain. They refuse to heal because they're covering we talked about this, lust.
Oh yes.
Lust is nothing but wounds, unhealed wounds. Lujuria. That was the word in
The
Spanish.
Spanish lujuria.
Lujuria. But it's lust. When
Who
you
would have thought that? You know that.
Yeah.
I would like when you told me this. I was like, really?
Yeah, lust, when you think about it, because I used to be very lustful. And then because of my childhood and the father that I had, promiscuous. So many people that are promiscuous is because they have sexual wounds, right? And so once I became aware of lust is nothing but sexual wounds, childhood trauma. It's trauma, it's wounds. Because if you really think about yourself, when guys sleep around and have a lot of women and a lot of partners, they contract STDs. They're in and out of the doctor. You know, opening yourself up without discernment to a bunch of people, I mean, you're asking for trouble,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And so that means
You're just avoiding
healing
healing.
and also intimacy, because that's what most men don't want to have an intimate relationship, because it will be very painful, because the woman that will enter a relationship with them will reflect their trauma.
Okay.
So we're you know, so when we enter these toxic dynamics, we become mirrors of each other. You know, the woman who is gonna make him feel less than a man, because society has a standard for men and for women, and so he'll be like, I can't do this. It's too painful.
Okay.
Because
Because it's reflecting a trauma.
yeah, it's extremely painful for a man to face the powerlessness that they feel in the face of a strong woman.
Yeah.
It's
That's why
painful.
we see a lot of relationships. You know,
They run. They run. The ego is telling them, I'm not ready to die, because it's a wounded ego that needs to die. Okay, so we're back to the entering toxic dynamics in order for us to heal. And so there are two things that can happen when you enter a toxic dynamic:
Okay.
self-destruction or healing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. That's like, and how do we heal, or how do we choose one or the other?
Exactly. So if I'm here on this podcast and I'm trying to make you aware that you have childhood trauma, and you have pain, emotional pain, stored in your body, and you are facing someone, you can either, this is how you know when you're self-destructing, when you think you're a victim, when you take victimhood. Oh my God, this person is so evil, this person is doing this to me, this person, you become a victim, and you don't heal, because you're blaming and putting your healing and the responsibility of your growth on another person, and it's not the other person's job to help you heal. It's your job.
It's our job.
It's your job.
Okay.
And so victim mentality is nothing but mechanism of the ego to defend your limitations, right? And so what happens when you become aware and you say like, oh, okay, I met someone who resembles my caregiver, my father or my mother in this case,
who
and
instilled a lot of pain in me when I was a child.
And when I had this interaction with this person, it hurts. But that's an opportunity to see, oh, this is a wound.
Okay.
This is a wound. So, like, for example,
it's an awakening, like you said, right?
Yeah. So when
it that way,
like you see Oprah and you see Gabby Bernstein talking about the wound is where the light enters, and it's because the moment that a wound is touched and it's open. That happened to me on Tuesday. Big wound was open, and it feels. I mean, we're talking about core wounds, and these core wounds are extremely painful.
Yes.
To the point that they will put you in bed for days, and you're unable to wake up.
Yeah.
I mean, to get up, and so
it makes you depressed.
Yeah.
It makes you sad.
Oh yeah, when a core wound, which my core wound was my needs not being met, and I immediately brought me into my childhood.
You're not giving me what I want.
Yeah, my needs are not met, and then so it brings you to this memory when you were a child, and you have all these needs of protection from your caregiver. But your caregiver, let's say a little girl doesn't have a father and is being raised by her mom, and her mom leaves to go to work, And this little is and the mom is so busy and so stressed because she has bills to pay and she has to be the man and the woman in the family. Mom forgets birthday, right?
Yes.
And so that is a wound and a trauma that a little child, because you are little.
Yeah. My
Your
mom
heart-
wasn't there when I most needed her.
And so exactly. So then
And when you meet somebody that does that to you, it will break you because you're not
because the person is
you're not
stuck in the
even
wound.
yeah you and you don't even know, you're not aware of that one until it happens,
Yeah.
but you gotta realize when it happens.
And so when it happens, I tell you what I did the other day. So on Tuesday night, I was completely broken because I went and asked for what I wanted. I'm not gonna go into details, but the answer was no, and it immediately brought me into this, my needs not being met by my father, who pretty much abandoned the family for his mistress, and I had an opportunity to heal the abandonment, the rejection, the my needs not being met, not getting that love that I wanted so desperately when I was a little girl. And so I laid on the couch, and the pain was so unbearable. Like I understand the reasons why I didn't get what I wanted. That didn't stop the pain. And I knew that I had to heal something from my past. And so there is a higher power, right? I believe in a higher power. There's a higher power, and I said, listen, I need to heal this one. I need to heal what is keeping me stuck in this loop of repeating cycles. Because when you don't heal, once you repeat cycles,
Yes.
you repeat them until
You
one
keep
day,
attracting the same person.
in
You
different
keep
bodies. Yep.
you keep doing the same, doing the same thing and expecting a different result. It
And so,
doesn't work.
my experience was immediately when I asked this higher power, and I felt this soothing, like almost like an energy that was soothing the pain that I was feeling, and I fell asleep.
So you realized what was going on and you accepted.
I welcome. Yeah, no, I
You
I
welcome
said-
the-
yeah,
yeah.
and then sometimes the higher self, the higher power, is there for us to, because our humanness comes with limitations. So sometimes we're unable. Like there are people that lose the battles to addiction. There are people that lose the battle to relationships. There are people that die in relationships. There are people that die from woundedness, because it's that powerful. It's that
It
like, the
is.
wounds keep you. If you don't heal them, it's stuck.
Yeah, the wounds create expectations that are not met, and when they're not met, it'll hurt. It hurts you.
Yeah.
And
And so once we heal and recognize, you got to keep going in the journey until and so somebody can ask, how long do you keep a toxic relationship?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah,
Right?
That's a really
And
good
so
question.
and usually what I say is, even if you want to break free of the toxic dynamic, you won't be able to, because the pull will be so strong. And I've been there. Like the pull is so strong that you find yourself powerless to leave that person. That keeps hurting you
And
over
you
and over, right?
and you said something. Even if you break up with that person, you will attract the same person with a different body.
Yeah. And sometimes I think, that when you run away from your healing process. So, but sometimes when the lessons are learned and the healing has been done with a person, because relationships are also journeys, they're not destinations. You have to journey.
It's a journey.
It's a journey.
Yeah, it's
so like like the way how we're conditioned we're supposed to meet the perfect,
The one.
the one, and then you're supposed to
forever and ever, like the Disney movies.
Live happily ever after.
Happily ever
And it's a
after.
huge conditioning from society, and it comes to you like breaking out of the conditioning. Very painful when you are served with divorce paper.
Yeah, because you realize that real life, it's not the same.
Real life is not a Disney story.